Hello, and away we go. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right down here, it's the ever-effervescent Melball. I didn't change it back to the regular layout, but we are here for Andre and Melball's Japanese wrestling update for the second week in a row. Like I said, last week I didn't know if it was going to be weekly or whatever, but I guess it's weekly so far. How you
We're
doing,
trying.
Melball?
We're doing our best. We had a lot of wrestling to watch over the last little bit here, with the last weekend having some incredible shows, including this one here, Battle in the Valley. Mm-hmm. We had, was it TNA Hard to Kill? Holy hot diggity dang. You're spoiled for wrestling this weekend, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good. We've had some big Stardom over the last little bit too, with some Rumbles that we're going to talk about that having World and Wonder title implications. We got lots to talk about here, but we're not going to hold any time back. We're going to pop right into it. We're going to talk Battle in the Valley to start. We're going to highlight two of the matches in the show that we really did love. We're going to start out with Giulia versus Trish Adora. Love seeing Trish Adora here. That featured entrance that she got with her boys, Charlie Bravo and the captain, Sean Dean, really made her stand out that much more rather than just a general entrance for her. Loved it there. Really good match. That air raid crash stretch, which is like an air raid crash, but she's stretching her, that Trish Adora did to Giulia was really good. The strikes back and forth throughout were really, really good. Trish Adora, the beautiful, beautiful Bubba Bomb in this match, and then transition to cattle mutilation. I love seeing her hit a Bubba Bomb, and the fact that Veda called it a Bubba Bomb at the end. Almost said bubble.
I'm telling you, that's what I keep hearing every time you say it.
Yeah, and absolutely. There's a beautiful butterfly suplex off the top in this match from Giulia to Trish Adora, just crashing down in the ring. Looked really good. Then the end of the match, though, comes with Giulia hitting that big baseball punch, hits the Northern Light Bombs, and retains the title. Absolutely incredible women's match from this Battle in the Valley show. You can watch it for $10 on New Japan World if you sign up for a month, or you can pay $30, I think, on Fight if you want the English commentary, or wait like 4 months and you get the English commentary on New Japan, I'm guessing, at some point.
Who wants to wait for that? Pay the $10 to get it on NJPW World. We will talk about that at the end of the show. But yeah, this match was absolutely incredible. With Giulia, the transitions that she has really been using this year were full display, especially at the beginning of this. Trish Adora, though, very much scouted a lot of these. Giulia did have a lot of problems kind of catching a one-up on Trish Adora there for the first little bit of this match. Yeah, I have to agree with your sentiment. Her coming in with her little buddy made her feel so much more hype. And it gave her, I don't want to say gave her credibility, but it certainly made her feel more noticed and more noticeable. And what made, as you had mentioned in our Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk full review of this amazing match, it definitely helped that he came out there for her hype and then went to the back. He was not the House of Evil shenanigans torturer that we were usually hoping to not see. And we got it in this one. This was a great match, great defense for Giulia, great way for her to continue her reign as strong women's champion.
Yeah, for sure. Again, she's only making this title the most relevant women's title in Japan, in my personal opinion. Like, as much as I love Mike as a World Stardom champion, to me, this is the top women's title in Japan right now with all the defenses from America, defenses in Japan. I don't think there's any debating that personally to me right now.
No, you won't get any from me. I mean, Julia has been making this last year her year. I mean, as evidenced by the fact that this was our pick for Women's Professional Wrestler of the year 2023. This is what is the 8th successful defense that she's had, I think, with this title belt, because it was 7 before, right?
Yeah, I think this is defense number 8.
Yeah, that's quite a feat to say with a lot of these Stardom titles. Even though this isn't technically an NJPW title, Stardom does tend to see a lot of kind of movement happening with the belts, particularly recently. It's been nice to have something stable. Mayu Iwatani would be the second person that I would say is as stable right now, but even she doesn't have can hold a candle close to Julia right now. She's just too on fire. It's unfortunate that we're potentially losing her. But this definitely sets her up for a fantastic transition into the North American scene.
Very much so. So we're going to move on to the main event of Battle in the Valley. It's the other match we usually highlight. I always highlight Will Ospreay, but this match was absolutely incredible. They did say on commentary, and he said it after the match, this is his last singles match under his contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. The crowd was fire from the beginning of this match. These guys just hitting everything they can on each other. It's two men that have known each other for 8 years. Okada brought Ospreay to New Japan under the story that they wrestled in Rev Pro. He said, "This kid is good. I'm bringing him in." And absolutely incredible back and forth match. Both these guys hitting each other's finishers in this match and trying to get wins off of those. Okada hit a pretty decent Stormbreaker. I'll admit that it was a well done Stormbreaker. But man, these two are just going. Ospreay pulling out his Styles Clash in this match. Also going, like, setting up to do the V trigger, but getting cut off with a drop kick. Again, just both these guys going back and forth. Absolutely incredible match. 28 minutes, but feels like 5 with how good these guys good and how enthralled you get in this match. It doesn't feel like 28 minutes. It feels so good, man. The match is so good. End of the match, the hidden blade gets dodged, and Okada hits the drop kick, hits the Emerald Flosion. Gets a wrist clutch lariat, hits a Death Valley driver, and he finishes it off with the Rainmaker for the win. But absolutely incredible between both these guys. Ospreay getting his sign off after thanking the fans and telling them he's coming. This is America's where he's going to be for the next few years. And saying, get ready for more of me. And I'm excited. I really am, man.
Mm-hmm. I am as well. It's unfortunate that we will be losing him on NJPW television. However, it's a reason to watch AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have two. Ospreay is one of them. Mariah May is the other. And this also increases our chances, my friend, of potentially seeing Mr. Ospreay live in living color. That would be so great. Wouldn't it be fun? Oh, what are you throwing around there?
Oh, I knocked down my Rick Jules sticker.
The audacity. The audacity. But anyway, as I was going on into a daydream about how awesome would it be to be able to sing Elevated?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be so great. So great. Let's hope for it.
Yeah. But yeah, again, two incredible matches off the show. And the whole show itself, I don't think there was a disappointing match on the entire show. Everything showed up and had a good. There were some that were just good, but nothing was outwardly bad on this show, on that show. And that's a plus. Like it's highly recommended, the whole show to you, but especially those two matches. Please check them out. But we're going to flip over to two challenges that were made on the Battle in the Valley show, and that's Mustafa Ali appearing in a video to challenge Hiromu Takahashi to a match. Mel listened to more of the promo than I did, so I'm going to let her expound on the Mustafa Ali promo.
Yes. This was a very emotional promo and a very good promo. I love these styles of promo where someone comes in and just says, "This is who I am. This is what I want to do. I want to beat up this person. And this is why I want to beat up this person. And he just laid out. Hiromu has done everything he can. And he let the company down. And that was the biggest message behind it, is that Hiromu let NJPW down. He's making fun of his gimmick and the stuffed animals. And it was just a very emotional and very, what's the word?
Engaging.
The word is escaping me right now, but it was very, I don't want to say domineering, but it was
Passionate.
confident, I think is the word that I'm really going to go for, because he wasn't angry or showing any kind of negative or even overly positive emotion. It was just very assertive. Maybe that's the word. Assertive and confident. He's essentially saying he's going to kick the crap out of Hiromu and claim the dignity of NJPW for himself, and I'm excited to see him try.
Yeah, that match, I really want to see it. And there's two local promoters that I'm really hoping bring, or three local promoters I really hope bring Mustafa Ali to this city of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. But man, I cannot wait to see these two face off. Mustafa Ali just started his comeback tour in uh, just last week, and this guy is like got so much buzz on the indie scene right now. I can't wait to see what he does, man. But the other challenge that was laid out at Windy City Riot, I'm gonna take this one. John Moxley, after his match with Shingo Takagi, which again highly recommend for a hardcore match. I actually, it's a hardcore match I actually enjoyed, so I'm not a big hardcore fan. He gets on the mic, says there's one person he wants, and he says, Naito, it's time. And that was it. That was it. And then it's just before the main event starts, they say the match will happen at Windy City Riot. Yeah, and man, I cannot wait to see these two face off. Moxley has really impressed me this last little bit with the Continental Classic, where how good his wrestling was in that. The three-way, how good he wrestled in that, and then just a hardcore match, how good that hardcore match was. And I'm not a big hardcore fan. I'm actually kind of excited to see Naito versus Moxley. I think these two could do something really interesting here. I don't see it being a plunder match either. I see this being a like Moxley wrestling Naito here.
I sure hope so. Because I'm not, and yeah, not made it a secret, I'm not a big Moxley fan. But these last few matches in NJPW, it's like he wrestles a completely different style. You've been saying I don't watch his AEW stuff. You've mentioned that he's starting to wrestle a little bit more like that on AEW. And if that's the case, I think I could start to finally get behind Moxley and whatever it is that he does. But yeah, this of the two matches, I'm certainly more excited to see Hiromu versus Mustafa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I've also become to really enjoy those high speed kind of I guess what's the term, cruiserweight kind of super junior speed and matches. So that doesn't surprise me that I'm more excited to see that. But that also being said, Naito is one of my favorites. And when Naito wants to play head games, Naito gets really vicious with the head games. And when Naito wants to tell a story, he tells a story. Something with John Moxley is John Moxley, when he doesn't want to tell a story, he still tells a story. He's almost forced into stories that he just kind of makes work because he's in them. So I suspect that the story, at least going into Naito and Moxley, is going to be something to watch. If he's going to be wrestling the same way, this NJPW style, frick yeah, give me that. As like, I would love for them to just take his music back with him to AEW. It's a lot more fun intro music in NJPW than AEW, but that's just a personal opinion on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I like his music here way more than his music over there, for gosh darn sure. So we're gonna get into some Stardom news here, but Melball is gonna take over. She's gonna run this one. She's got all the Stardom scoops here.
I got scoops. I got scoops, you guys. So, the lovely young Yuzuki, who recently defeated Henan in the Rookie of the Year tournament there, able to join a faction, joining Stars, which is head by the IWGP Women's Champion there, Mayu Iwatani, has members like Saya Ida, Hazuki, Koguma, Hanan, and the hopefully returning soon Momokoko. But yeah, Stars now, I think one of the biggest factions though in Stardom, having 7 members that are pretty much full timers and always there. I would almost say getting a little big for her britches. Need to see some more girls kind of building on other factions. Would like to see some more building in there, particularly with Club Venus. But Hanako, the woman who Yuzuki defeated in that rookie tournament, not too happy that Yuzuki given the privilege to earn or to join a faction before her, being that Hanako has actually been working for half a year longer than Yuzuki. And I have to share in the sentiment of Hanako on this one. She tweeted out saying, "Because you beat me, you get to enter a unit first. Why is it praised as being so amazing and great? I've worked hard so far, even though I've had fewer opportunities to practice than those kids. If you haven't shown any effort or determination, then I guess you've wasted everything you've done so far. I want to be recognized someday. I am so frustrated." Again, I echo the sentiment of Hanako in this one. Though I do really like Yuzuki and the work that she has done so far, I haven't seen nearly as much from her as I have of Hanako. And even Aya Sayaka, who we haven't seen, or Sakura, sorry, Aya Sakura, who we haven't seen in a hot minute, I assume partially maybe because of injury. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. But Yuzuki is good. But I personally think in regards to in-ring experience and to be honest, personality, Hanako is definitely still better just by a few months, just by barely, but she is that a little bit better. And therefore, I did kind of think that Hanako deserved the opportunity to choose a faction first. That being said, though, Hanako did not win the Rookie of the Year tournament. And therefore, I think in losing that, she was unable to have the privilege of being able to enter a unit. However, now that Yuzuki is in Stars, I'm hoping that opens up the door for Hanako to be able to also enter a faction. I'm just going to say, maybe with the attitude she's been copping.
Maybe she's gonna put on some purple gear. You never know with that attitude she's copping there.
I was just gonna say, I wouldn't be angry about it. That's for sure. Andre, what do you think about Yuzuki joining Stars?
I think it's a good fit. She seems to have that bubbly character personality that Stars very much is. A lot of bubbly, happy girl. She has that kind of, her style works to those girls. Like she has that kind of similar style to the rest of the girl, similar to some of the girls in Stars. And I think she can work in nicely. But as for Hanako, yeah, I can understand when you've been in there 6 months longer and you haven't been given the opportunity to join a faction. But maybe you need to start pushing and going to factions saying, hey, what is your interest in me? There's also not just being given the opportunity. Sometimes you need to break a few windows and take an opportunity. Like it happens. Like you have to sometimes put yourself out there and see who wants me, not versus waiting for somebody to want you. It's like, you got to put yourself out there. And so I can understand the bitterness of somebody coming in after you getting the faction, but I also look at it in the fact of what has she done to get herself in that faction? She lost Rookie of the Year. She had won Rookie of the Year. Maybe Stars was looking at her. Maybe another team would have been looking at her to come in. But you technically lost your shot at elevating yourself. And again, it's all depending. I always thought maybe she would fit in good with God's Eye personally, with her size really works with that striking rough style of God's Eye. So again, and she has said she does train with Suri. So why aren't you getting into Suri being, hey, you brought Saki and bring me in? What, like, those are those questions
I did just recently bring in the Scandinavian Hurricane too, so they might also be starting to get to a member capacity. That also being said, though, we've also seen Hanako work very, very well with Lady C. So that could also be another kind of person she could work with. And Queen's Quest is looking a little bare bones right now. We'll have to see how this kind of plays out, but I'm interested to see how this kind of goes into the spring.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we get here from both of these ladies, the one now in a faction and the one that's still factionless. Yeah. So we're gonna move on. Mel's got more stuff to talk about. As I haven't watched these Rumble matches yet, just life has been busy. So Mel's gonna give us a rundown of the match, or a quick rundown of the matches. We're gonna talk about the results coming out of it. Oh no! Oh, I spoiled something there.
Spoiler alert. This Wonder match was just so much fun. You can tell by how many women are in there how fast paced this match was. It was just stuff all over the place. I don't have specific move things for people because I did watch these matches while I was warming up at the gym. So it just tends to be me going, ooh, ah, and people around me thinking that I'm mental.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Starlight Kid earning the right to challenge Sayorianu for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. I was surprised at this one. I definitely had a few other choices that I would have rather seen first. One of them being, surprisingly, Cassie. Saki Kashima. I actually was kind of like rooting for her in this one. Another one, more serious one, was Yuzuki. I'm not disappointed with Starlight Kid, though.
No.
Starlight Kid's going to give Sayorianu a heck of a run, and Sayorianu does have a tendency to turn up that speed, turn up that agility, and she also very, very versed in that submission style, which we've seen Starlight Kid very, very good at that as well. I'm very curious to see how these two have a match because Sayorianu is quite tall, quite lean, deceptively quick, and deceptively strong. But Starlight Kid, for her diminutive size, also deceptively strong. I mean, we know she's quick, she's tiny, she looks like a mouse. But what kind of match do you think that we are going to get from these two, Andre?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a high speed style match. Like you're going to see Starlight Kid work, and again, Anu has worked with. I've seen her in the ring with Meisera and others that have worked that high speed style. They're going to move quickly. They're going to be. I feel like we're going to get that style of match, and I'm all for it, 100%. I like personally, like I look at that Rumble. Like my two that I really would have liked to see win it over Charlotte Kid, like not that I'm disappointed she won, would have been Hazuki and Saida for me personally because I'm a huge Saida fan, but Hazuki has been having a hell of a year, had a hell of a 2023, and I really think she needs to be elevated up into that like Wonder title division and really be a formidable challenger and possibly even winning the title this year. There's a lot, yeah.
No, I agree. Hazuki has had one hell of a year, and she has done so much for that company. I would love to see her be elevated. There's still time. There's still time. I think it's early. There's early enough that we can see her maybe challenging afterwards.
Oh, very much so. Because I'm hoping by end of year, Mina's got that white belt, but that's my personal opinion. But speaking of the other belts, we're gonna go on to the World Rumble for the World Title shot, which has my girl Mina Shirakawa in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one was it was actually this one I remember the most about because not only was there like the main story in this match, which was attaining a world title shot, but there were several other micro stories happening within this, specifically between Mina and Nane, Megan Bain and everybody, Mirai and Nane, um, Aphrodite with Utami and Saya Kamitani, with Tora. Like it just, there was a lot. There was a lot going on and a lot of back and forthery. Um, what I really liked about this match is that no one was eliminated until everybody was in the ring. And then Bane started going in on people and getting rid of people. When you can pin clean Natsuko Tora, bruh, that was a great spot for me, which was like so crazy to think. It was literally just a bomb and the go to hell attitude F5 thing, yeeting Tora, and that was the end of it. But it was clean. That's what I loved about it. Um, the strength of every person in this match was absolutely insane. They were just leveling each other left, right, and center. Um, Suzu even managing to do her drive by because she didn't get eliminated right away. It was so good. And she did it from the wall. She ran to the back part of the wall, ran up, and booted Utami in the face. Poor Utami. However, it came down to the final two being your girl, Mina Shirakawa, and Saya Kamitani. And let me tell you, it was like a 2.0 showdown of them fighting for that wonder of Stardom title last year. But unfortunately for Miss Venus herself, Kamitani was just too strong. She hit that Phoenix strike and it was just over. Kamitani calling out Micah after Micah coming out and pretty much just being like, yeah, you can challenge me, but you're not going to win. I like the attitude that Micah now has with the red belt around her waist. She's not backing down from anyone, and she's walking with a very different kind of confidence now. I absolutely love it. Andre, what do you think about seeing this match? You're muted.
Ah, poop. As I was saying on my muted mic, I much rather would have seen Mina in this match. Don't get me wrong. Asai Kamitani has had such a rise this past year from dropping the Wonder title and was rising up until she got hurt during the 5-star Grand Prix, but then coming back, winning the tag team titles. So that means the tag titles are going to be defended on the show, which disappoints me slightly because it's one of their bigger cards of the year at Supreme Fight. It's one of their like marquee cards. But getting to see this, like Kamitani and Micah, I think the styles, it's a styles clash, but in a good way. Like it's a high flying. I honestly didn't even make. I wasn't even making that thought. But like how it clashes with Kamitani's high flying, like jumping offense versus Micah's very much grounded, beat the piss out of you, like that kind of offense that she does. That's very much what we're going to get here, and I'm super excited to see it because like Micah as champion, I am very much into. I'm looking forward to seeing her title reign succeed, and I'm hoping for a long title reign for her. I don't want her to end up dropping this like in February or in April. I don't want it to be short for her. I want her to get a good long established title reign.
Me as well, but that's also because it's Micah, girl crush, and all that. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see how this goes, but I would also be very disappointed to see her lose this. I don't suspect she's gonna. I love
No.
Kamatani. I don't think she's ready for that next level yet, though. I maybe by the end of the year, I would like to see her build a little bit more. But I actually found it a little odd that Kamatani was in this one and not the Wonder. Um,
I just think after the title reign she had, I think she's just risen into that world picture. So like makes more sense for her to be in this world match than it does the Wonder match. I know she's so much more associated with the Wonder title at this point, but that's just due to stuff. It's just good what she's done this lot, what she did before. So you associate with the title, but I think she's in such a position that she's ready for the world title.
Interesting, interesting. I had one more thing that we didn't have a graphic for
What's that?
that I don't know if I told you yet or not. Maybe I did tell you, maybe you forgot. We're getting our Waka back.
Oh yes. Oh
Waka
yes.
Tsukiyama returns to in-ring action this Saturday. So this comes out on Friday. So tomorrow or tonight, given time
Something.
zone changes.
Be tomorrow morning, yeah.
Waka Tsukiyama making her return to team with her partner and stablemate, Mina Shirakawa. Club Venus is back, baby. It's not just the Venus, it's Club Venus again. Yay!
Yeah,
Andre, how do you feel about that?
yeah, I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to watching that show. There's like other couple of matches on the card that look really spectacular to watch on that show. So I'm actually really excited for that card. We're not going to get a chance to watch it until probably the 23rd, but because that's how Stardom, it takes 3 days for Stardom to get shows up on their main site. But that's the pay-per-view window. But yeah, I'm excited. I really think that Walker coming back is going to be a good thing. And I think the time away, it's going to be like a good refresher. We haven't seen her in a few months. Just give it and gives some new blood, and there's some like refreshed blood into the pool, and I like it.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm hoping to see her hit the ground running and kind of have a. I want to see her have a better year than she's had the last two. And she deserves it. She's worked so hard. And she just does it so excitingly and with such just emphasis and excitement and energy. She's very much a source of happiness for me in Stardom. So having her there, bring her back, please.
Yeah, very much so. But we've come to the end of another episode of Andre and Melball's Japanese Wrestling Update right here on OLE. Thank you all so very much. Please, for the Twitch, please please follow the channel if you really do love OLE, give us a subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Over on the YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that share us out, and don't forget the notification button to be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. You can find me on the X Master on Blue Sky and Hive at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre, it's over here. It's over here on this video. Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk on our Facebook page. And you can always find me over on our YouTube page at youtube.com/at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, where you get far more in-depth reviews of all of these shows a bunch of stuff we just talked about here. Please go check that out. You can also find me right here on OLE doing Marvel Talk. We'll be back. Actually, we won't be back. You'll have watched us yesterday because this comes on Friday. You've watched us yesterday do Marvel Talk reviewing Echo. So check that out. It'll be on the YouTube very shortly. So check that out over at the YouTube page. Please check all that out. And we're having our Marvel Talk Rebound coming out later this month, reviewing The Incredible Hulk. Wait, which movie I hate. I really wish we could watch the old TV show. Melball, where can they find you at, Madame?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishments programming Spooky Yuki-ish coming very soon. Just figuring out the last little bit of how we're going to organize that. We're going to be watching some spooky, weird little videos on the internet or pictures or whatever, and we're going to discuss them debunk them, see if they're real, see if they're not, see if it's just a figment of our imagination.
Imagination.
You can also catch me on Astro Bizarro's YouTube channel, where I do Ladies Wrestling Showcase with that beautiful natural, where we talk all things women's professional wrestling. If you're wanting to watch NJPW or Stardom, we will leave the links in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com or stardom-world.com. Both of these sites are 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. My partner, there we go, flashing the tickers. Still an amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. You can watch some of the Battle in the Valley show that we talked about on NJPW. You can watch the show of the Rumbles. Sorry, there we go. That we were on January 6th, I believe. I think it was the 6th. Yes, it was the 6th, because I watched the shows backwards. January 6th, to watch the World of Stardom Rumble and the Wonder of Stardom Rumble, both worth a watch. The women did incredible in both of those matches. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Just thank y'all so very, 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 very much for all the great support you have given us here on OLE. Shout out to Bobby, Astrid, and Ed, all the great support, and Mark Talks, all the great friends we have here at OLE. We'll check us out, all the other shows, multiple days a week. You can find us on right here on OLE, checking out all the great shows. And I think it's time to go home.
I think it's time to eat now, yes. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.